And welcome back to another episode of Striker Chat. Today I have a really special, I know I say I have special guests all the time, but this guy's a special guest. Striker Chat was started back in the day of the COVID, the day of the pandemic. It was started with a friend of mine, my first co-host of Striker Chat, Sammy Cassidy. Yeah.
I'm very well, Sammy. Good to have you back, mate. Good to see you again.
Good to see you. Good to see you back as well, mate. The co-host.
Yeah.
You actually made the name out, Striker Chat as well.
Yeah, that was good. It's good times, man. I had a lot of fun in those little times.
And I'm digressing here. Hugh O'Donnell lives in Phuket at the moment. His podcast is Combat Chat has a bit of hiatus.
Yep.
And I think that you should join up.
Join forces,
and
mate.
Join forces and
Striker Combat.
Yeah, Striker Combat. Mate, that's an awesome one. Mate, let's just get straight into this.
Welcome to my humble abode.
Yeah, well, this is the beautiful abode you have here.
Yeah.
We're at Southside MMA, Rawai Beach in Phuket. Right on the beach, mate. The beach is just across the road.
Yeah.
Great facilities out here. At the moment, we've got the Muay Thai, and that's what that's your majority. You're the striking coach here. At,
yes, very much. Yes. The head striking coach in the gym. You know, obviously Muay Thai is the number one, is the passion, but I'm evolved very quickly into the MMA realm as well.
Yeah, you
strictly striking though. I don't do any of the gay stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't do any of the cuddling or.
No, I mean, striking stand up and striking grappling.
Yes.
Different techniques and different stances as well. I mean, what are the fucking differences here?
Well, so the fundamentals things that change from Muay Thai especially to the MMA things is so stances are probably one of the biggest things that you got to go through. So probably a bit more of a bladed stance as opposed to a Muay Thai stance, and usually a bit of a longer footwork kind of scenario.
Yeah.
So obviously they have to be prepared for the takedowns and all that type of stuff. So there's a couple of there's three fundamental things that I kind of noticed in the difference of Muay Thai and MMA. So obviously one is your position and your posture.
Yeah.
So position of your legs and your posture is different to Muay Thai. And footwork is a big difference, and what I call patterns.
Yeah.
So
that's what
patterns in MMA are they're paramount. So things like terminology we use like the second phase of striking and things like that. Like the angle work. Whereas
Can you explain the second phase of striking with MMA?
So for me, second phasing is we have an initial combo that starts a process, and then there might be an angle to create another couple of punches that will create a takedown.
Yeah.
So
it's setting up. It's chess, not checkers.
That's exactly right, mate.
That's your catch cry. I've been here for the last 3 or 4 days, and you yell.
Chess, not checkers, mate.
Constantly, it's checkers, not chess. I mean,
chess,
not checkers. Sorry, yeah. I'll be failing in your class.
So it's just like with Muay Thai, you do have an option to kind of exchange, reset. Whereas in MMA, the resetting option is a really bad option. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you'll see me with the guys telling them, don't let your opponent reset, because just little small things that I see. No one in the world can move backwards faster than you can move forward.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you get someone moving back, in a safe manner, you should be able to continuously engage with them. You do run into the odd person who's a really good back-foot fighter that you've got to be wary of, but majority of the time it's, creating an angle, catching them out on that angle.
So you've really come along. Have you got any Muay Thai boys out here? You've got young Jamie.
Young Jamie Lang Uliabe is from, he was training with Ace, Areta Gilbert, and down at Braveheart, so he's out here at the moment. He's only been here for 2 weeks, but he's making a really good impression.
Yeah.
He's a young kid, extremely ambitious, but unfortunately, trying to get him out of the K1 style.
Standing there.
Oh, mate. I was just trying to explain to him. I said, bro, I know you're tough, but why do you need to prove it every single time? Chess, not checkers. Why can't you beat this guy with skill? But he's making a really good impression on the Thai boys as well, and one of my trainers, Tom, he's taking him under his wing.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And he's having his first fight with me in about 2 weeks.
Is that the Rumble?
No. So the Rumble we have is an amateur event. So
Yeah.
he'll just go to the local stadium, and then I've got a pretty clear guideline of what I want Jamie to achieve by the end of the year. Because he's someone that's on my radar for potentially sponsoring him to be a part of the fight team.
Okay.
So he's come along. You know, in 2 weeks he's come a long way, and he's just eager to learn. You know.
Yeah, no, I know that. Like a sponge, it's
almost too much. Sometimes I'm like, all right, but you're asking too many questions. You know. I encourage that.
Yeah.
And then it's like I really think that he can make it in the Muay Thai realm, especially over here. Like, I have him, you know, in my vision to be on RWS. Maybe end of the year, but more so next year.
Very tall as
very
well.
long, very powerful. But yeah, just have to. I don't change people's styles. I adapt to what they're good at, and I try and make sure that that's their focal points.
Yeah.
But I just, you know, like to maneuver things.
Yeah.
I like to add to people's repertoire, not, oh, you have to do what I say and it has to be this way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's got a couple of really key strong points that you know, he's worked his way through, but I've just adapted him a little bit. Again, he's someone I changed his position, and at the moment it's working really well.
Yeah.
But I have to see what happens under the lights.
Exactly, man. Exactly. But he's had fights in like I've done an interview with him. He's obviously had fights in the ring. So he's no.
Oh no, he's no stranger to the ring, you know. But like I said, he was a K1 based fighter.
It's a lot different, though, isn't it?
Ace is one of the best guys that's kind of bringing K1 elements into Muay Thai.
Yeah.
But we all know the truth, mate. Muay Thai always wins.
Of course. But the gay one, no, we won't even be derogative towards any other combat sport. It's your background. Muay Thai is your passion. Muay Thai is your love. But you've transitioned, and you transitioned so well to MMA.
Yeah.
And like the majority of your fight team is all MMA. So UFC, one championship, and Infliction and stuff like that. Can we just name a couple of your main fighters?
So I was, like I said, I come into it pretty hot and heavy. Yeah. You know, I'm very adamant and I'm very open and honest in the fact that I'm just a striking coach. You know what I mean? I don't fucking say that I'm any different. I'm not an MMA coach. You know what I mean? I am now, you know, a striking coach
in MMA.
Yes, exactly right. So, you know, like I worked with Darren Till for his last fight when he fought Drekus, and his stand-up was spot on, and his wrestling wasn't the best, but that's, you know, a part of MMA. And then I was lucky enough to work with Phill Hawes after that as well in the UFC.
Vittori, was it?
Yeah, I did a lot. I did a bit of work with Vittori, just training-wise, you know, but I never was part of his official camp or anything like that. But
comes and you teach him a few little tricks. Or?
Yeah, and he was really cool to have in here as well. And then, like at the moment, obviously, I've got Rob Valentine, so he's in Ultimate Fighter. He just had a real viral elbow knockout last week, funnily enough.
Let's talk about Rob. I mean, Rob's come along, and how has his striking come, like his development?
So Rob, funnily enough, I met him when I used to work at Powerhouse. He came in with Darren. Darren's like, hey, listen, I've got a bloke that's you know, helping me, but he's a fantastic body, he's a good grappler and all this type of stuff, you know. And Rob, at the time, I don't quote me on his record, you know, something around the 7-2 area, and I think probably 85 to 90% of those were grappling finishes. Yeah. And then he was there. He's like, oh, can I get some pads? And I was like, yeah, sweet. You know, how'd it go? And I was like, I even said to Rob, and I've said to Darren, I was like, are you sure this bloke's, you know? Because mate, it was like Bambi on ice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was all over the shop. His feet were fucked, and I was like, and then, but you know, I just said to him, hey man, like, you know, try this, try that. Again, try the positions. You know what I mean? Not like, oh, you've got to do this, you've got to do that. And, you know, we just kind of got along like a house on fire. And then he went back to Switzerland, I believe it was. And
is he Swiss, is he?
Yeah, he's Swiss, yeah. And he came back, he's like, hey man, I used the stuff you taught me, and I fucking, you know, had a really good stand-up exchanging and stuff like that. He's like, oh, can we do some more work? And then, well, yeah, we just progressed since then. Now, I would hate to fight him in a striking-only fight.
Really?
Mate, he's a crazy dude, you know what I mean? But in a very good way, but he's obsessive as well. So you teach him something, and he'll, down to the most minute, intricate detail, you know, he'll have to get it right.
Yeah.
So he's awesome to work with, man. I'm having a great time with him. And yeah, so he's in the Ultimate Fighter now. He's caught out what was supposed to be the best striking fighter in Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah.
Fighter knocked him out in like 20 seconds with a big
He
elbow.
definitely put every middleweight on notice. That was a massive, badass elbow, and I cannot wait to see this guy fight again.
Winner by technical knockout.
That's fucking gotta be you. I know. I'm gonna say it, Sammy. Best fucking coach in the world.
I'm hoping in the next 3 to 4 or 5 years, you know what I mean? Like, I have my ambitions, but you know, there's people that paved the way for this type of thing. You know, like Henry Hoof, Duke Rufus, all those guys. They're world-renowned striking coaches. You know, so like, you have some people that fucking sit on the bench over there, and you're like, oh, you're not an MMA coach, and blah blah blah. Fuck, I never said I was.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? But the results fucking speak for itself.
My team at the moment, bro, we're 13 wins in a row.
13 wins?
13 wins in a row.
All knockouts or no?
And of that, no bullshit, of that, it's like, you know, probably 8 or 9 of those 13 in a row is knockouts, you know?
That's who MMA like a duck to water. So what is it? What is it that, like, you're obviously getting hands, you know, you've got a good eye, you're very fucking humble.
Yeah.
You know, your humility, then that allows you to absorb the, you know, to be taught.
I try to like pick some things off everyone. Like, I'm a firm believer that you should be able to train with 5-6 different people and take the best out of each person. You know what I mean? Because I'm not the be all and end all of anything. You know what I mean? I can have good solutions to some problems, but it may not be the right solution for that person or for that scenario. But then, you know what I mean? Like, Daniel, who we have here, is a K1 coach. He might have the solution. Yeah. And then we work together into creating that, you know. So
you got Daniel, the K1 coach. You've got Colton as well. He's your little...
Colton's my little monster, man. He's another guy that...
He's known as the monster,
He is known as the monster. He's another guy that is a predominantly grappling-based fighter, and then in our first full camp working together, he had a first-round knockout. Yeah. And it was his first ever knockout in...
He moves fucking well.
In like 11 fights. Because, again, I played to his attributes, put him in positions where I thought, you know, you're going to catch this guy out, and funnily enough, big overhand right knocks the guy out. And then, so now he's fighting for the eternal title.
In Australia, isn't it?
Yeah. So he took out the #1 contender quite, it doesn't sound like a prick, but quite easily. Took him out. He's a US Marine vet. Yeah. He's just
hard as nails,
mate. He's just a tank.
I know.
He's just like a grappling machine, and now that he's got some... So that's another thing. I work with Colt alongside another fellow called Tiwaz. Yeah. Tiwaz is a striking coach down in Soy Tayed. And, you know, Tiwaz brings out great stuff in Colt. I bring out great stuff in Colt. Together, collectively...
we're a champion.
Yes, exactly. And then, you know, but some people are like, well, you can't do that. You've got to be with me and fucking blah, blah, blah. And it's just like... It just breeds for fucking toxicity, you know?
We should be allowing people to learn from everything, and it just makes the sport better.
Because you see it a lot in Muay Thai as well. And sometimes Muay Thai back home in Australia, people are very like, that's mine, that's mine, that's mine. That person's mine, you know? Yeah. But I believe that if you make the environment right, there shouldn't be an issue with going down the road and, you know, learning something, having a spar with the other guys, and then coming back
with that knowledge and teaching in your gym about that knowledge as well.
Right. It's all about, you know, developing and getting around and you know, doing that stuff. But yeah, no, like I said, at the moment we can't really go wrong. Can't step foot wrong.
I've got a fucking pretty awesome fighting team. Like, I made a fool of myself today. Like, Wonder Girl. Like, I was filming her, I knew it was Nat, I knew her name was Nat, didn't know who she was, as like the Wonder Girl. And like, I was doing a reel for her and I didn't know what to tag, and I asked her, and I was just like, oh, what's your Instagram? She goes, oh, she pulls it out and went, Nat, Wonder Girl? And I was going, oh my God. My heart started to flutter.
That's an awesome person to have around the gym, you know? Like,
fucking awesome fighter, yeah.
Great experience in the Muay Thai world. She's transitioning to the MMA now, and I haven't actually had the chance to work directly with Nat because we had some other MMA coaches here at some point, but they've, you know, for the greater good, we've gotten rid of them. So I'm looking forward to be able to sit down and work with Nat. Yeah. Again, Nat's one of those people. She's a world-renowned Muay Thai fighter. Got to use her attributes to help her fighting game. Yeah. So I'm really, really looking forward to that because, you know, I'm a Muay Thai guy. So just going to see what happens with that. That's in the next couple of weeks.
For letting me come on. It was great having a chat. I just want to say, even though you've transitioned to MMA,
I'm still firmly in the Muay Thai realm.
Yeah, but your coaching ethoses and style and technique are still there.
Yeah.
You know, you're a nurturer. But fucking, you're hard on these fellas, man. Like today, you were yelling at them because they weren't listening, and you were just yelling at them. But at the end of the session, you told them
If I
what.
say everybody okay, we go okay, and then you go out and do something completely opposite to what I said. Of course, I'm gonna fucking yell at you. And I don't yell at you to be fucking mean. I yell at you to hold you guys to a professional level, okay, or hold you guys to a certain level. But if you tell me I understand, then you go out there and do something completely wrong. One, you just lied to me for no reason. Two, we have to go back to fucking square one, so you fucked it up for the other people that do understand. It's okay to not understand things, that's fine, that's life. But if you tell me, yeah, I understand, then you go home and go, what the fuck did you say? Or like, then we have to stop everybody else from doing their training to go back to what we were doing originally. It's totally fine to put your hand up and say, sorry coach, I didn't quite understand it. No dramas. Sweet, figure it out before we get started. Don't fucking go out there and fuck it all up, because I will leave. And that's when I'll start yelling at us. And eventually I'll start hitting this and kicking this and doing all the good stuff. Only because you guys you know what you're doing. If I can hold you to a good level, then we're going to have a lot better trainings, okay? But if we're always having to fucking recorrect things, we're never actually going to get anywhere. Ask questions. A lot of you guys, like with Colton and stuff in here, these guys will forget more fucking stuff than you'll learn, okay? The whole reason of why you've chosen to come here to be coached. You haven't just come here to have a workout, otherwise you can go run around in circles outside. Okay? Please ask questions. I'm encouraging you to ask questions. I'm encouraging you to say, hey, I don't understand. Because some of the stuff's intricate and it's got some minor details that might be like, oh shit, I can't understand that stuff. Alright? Please ask questions so that I don't have to fucking yell. Makes my life easier, and then you guys will feel better about not getting yelled at. Okay? Anything else?
You yelled at them, and you said why do you do what you do? You know, you respect them, and you want these. You know, these guys are professional fighters, and you want them. You know what level they are at, so you want them to be at that level.
100%. Like I said, I'm not really a yelling coach. You know what I mean? But
no.
When the time comes for it, whatever's warranted at the time's warranted. You know.
Yeah.
Sometimes a pat on the back's warranted. Sometimes, oh, you fucking dickhead. You know. But it's about having that right balance and also understanding. Whatever kind of criteria you set for the team, you have to set for the individual.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of times people will be like, oh, well, that guy's really good, so he can just kind of...
No. No one gets favoritism, yeah? I've seen that.
Straight across the board here,
yeah.
You know what I mean? And you'll see that I do things that a lot of people won't actually agree with, like I'll single somebody out. If they're the ones that are dragging the chain, I'll single them out because I know the next day they won't.
Yeah.
But I'm just in love with everything that's happening. I mean, I've got a great team, The gym's pumping. My fight team's great. My co-coaches are fantastic. Like Joshy, Colt, Campbell, Danny. Everyone that's in this place at the moment is here for the greater good of developing a team or developing people in general. So, like
it's your family now, yeah?
Exactly. It's an extended family, man, and it's one I hold close to my heart. So.
Mate, thank you very much, man.
My pleasure, brother. Good to have you here. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, brother. Cheers for that.
All good.
Woo-hoo. We'll walk off and we go.